Okay, we are going to start. Please find a comfortable position. Keep your back straight. Gently close your eyes. Take few deep long breaths and relax your whole body. Please do it few times. Experience relaxation and peace. Feel harmony with your body. Feel close to yourself. Now send your loving thoughts towards yourself. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. Now send your loving thoughts towards your family. May all of my family members be well, be happy, be peaceful. Think of them individually, by names. Even you have some difficulties with them, right now bring their pictures to your mind. You are looking at them, they are sitting in front of you. You are smiling to them. May my parents be well, be happy, be peaceful. My grandparents be well, be happy, be peaceful. May my children, grandchildren be well, be happy, be peaceful. May my brothers and sisters be well, be happy, be peaceful. Now send your loving thoughts towards whole world. May all living beings be well, be happy, be peaceful. Unconditionally, we are sending our loving thoughts, all human beings, all animal beings. This loving kindness meditation is very powerful practice. If you can live in that mind state, you have lots of spiritual benefits. Now slowly turn your attention to your breath. That means you are bringing attention to your life. Life-giving breath. No breath, no life. There is no difference. Life and breath. And also there is no difference. Meditation and living is a one thing. When you are focused on your breath, you are focused on your life. When you are truly focused on your life, you are doing meditation. Only thing you have to bring to your life, loving kindness and mindfulness. No need to repress your thoughts. No need to control your thoughts. Let them come and let them go. wanders. That is the nature of the mind. No need to struggle or go against your mind. Learn how to be with it. Is it possible for you to be friendly with your mind? Be friendly with your thoughts, feelings, and emotions instead of go against them or pushing them away. Be gentle with them. Accept them, manage them. Now observe your mind, observe your body. Your body is relaxed, your mind is calm, tranquil, and peaceful. Make a strong determination to practice every day. This practice always helping you to keep your mind balanced and content. May peace be with you. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. Now we are going to chant for you all the people who requested prayers and blessing. I am thinking of them all, different places, different states. And also you can think of them too if you have someone in your lives need blessing. This is a good time to think of them. Please receive the blessings. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sambuddhassa. Itipiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho. Charana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhamma. Santa deva manussanang buddho bhagavati swakato. Dhammo sandintiko akaliko ehi passiko opa. Pancantang veditambo vinyuhiti supatipanno. Savaka sangho ujupatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho. Patipanno bhagavato savaka sangho. Samici patipanno savaka sangho. Yadidan chantari purisa yugani anta purisa punggala. To savaka sangho ahuneyo pahuneyo dakkineyo anjali. Anuttaram punyang kentang lokan sati. Etena sanca vanjen dukkha upasamintu te. Etena sanca vanjena upasamintu te. Etena sanca vanjena roga upasamintu te. Karaniya manta kusalena yantang padang abhisaminca. Sangko ujuca sujuca suaco cansa. Timani santussa koca subaroca. Ampakincoca sallauka vunti santin. Ca ampagambo kulesu ananugindo. Naca kundang samacare. Yena vinyo pare upavadeyun sukino va kemino hontu. Santa bhavantu sukhitanta. Eke cipane bhutanti tasava. Va anavasesa digava e mahanta va manji. Rasa kanukatula dinta va eva andinta. Revasanti avidure bhuta va sambhavesi va sambe santa. Sukhitanta parannikumbeta nati manyeta kanta cinang kanci vyarosana. Nanya manyasa dukkamincaya mata yataniyang. ආයුසා ඒක පුන්ත මනුරංකේ ඒවම්පි සම්බ භූතේසු භාවයේ අපරිමාණං මෙත්තංච සම්බ ලෝකස්මින් භාවයේ අපරිමාණං උද්දං අදෝච තිරියංච අසම්බාධං අවේරං අසපත්තං තිට්ඨං චරං නිසින්නෝ ආසයානෝවා තස්ස විගත මිද්දෝ ඒතං සතින් අදින්ටේ බ්‍රහ්මමේතං විහාරං ඉදමාහු දින්ටිංච ගම්ම සීලවා දස්සනේන සම්පන්නෝ කාමේසු ගේදන්නහි ජාතු ගම්බසෙය්‍යම් පුනරේතිති ඒතේන සච්චවංජේන දුක්ඛාවූප සමින්තු තේ ඒතේන සංචවංජේන භයාවූප සමින්තු තේ ඒතේන සංචවංජේන රෝග උපසමින්තු තේ සම්බීතියෝ විවංජන්තු සම්බ විනස්සතු මාතේ භවත්වන්තරායෝ සුඛී දීඝායෝ භවතු සම්බ මංගලං රක්칸තු සම්බ දේවතා සම්බ බුද්ධානුභාවේන සදා සොන්ති භවන්තු තේ භවතු සම්බ මංගලං රක්칸තු දේවතා සම්බ ධම්මානුභාවේන සදා සොන්ති භවන්තු භවතු සම්බ මංගලං රක්칸තු සම්බ දේවතා සම්බ සංඝානුභාවේන සදා සොන්ති භවන්තු තේ දුක්ඛප්පත්තාච නිදුක්ඛා තාච නිබ්බයා සෝකම්පන්තාච නිස්සෝකා හොන්තු සම්බේපි නෝ ආකාසට්ටාච බුම්මට්ටා දේවානාගා මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරන් රක්칸තු ශාසනං ආකාසට්ටාච දේවානාගා මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරන් රක්칸තු දේශනං ආකාසට්ටාච බුම්මට්ටා දේවානාගා මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරන් රක්칸තු ත්වං සදාති. So you all have seen babies because one time in our lives we used to be babies too, right? So when you see a newborn baby, so newborn babies are so calm, and also newborn babies, they are sleeping lot. You have seen them, they are sleeping lot so peacefully, like, you know, and looking at angels, and they are sleeping really well. And also our young age, most of us have the really good sleeping techniques, right? We go to bed and we can fall in sleep, no problems. How about now? Do you sleep like a baby? Some people do. Huh? You do, right? You know, so some people have lots of issues with sleeping. Why is that? Why babies are sleeping really well, like adults has lots of complaints and have to have melatonin and, you know, all the sleeping pills to sleep. Why is that? One reason, our minds are crazy. Our minds are distracted. That's why we cannot sleep well. So when we are distracted means so many information in our mind right now. Right now, one reason people have fear because of the COVID. Then maybe it will affect to some people at night. Some people have family matters. Some people have relationship issues. Some people have workplace matters. Because of those crazy things happening in our life, now is really affecting to our personal lives. So I call those things are conditions. Lots of conditions in the world. When we are babies, we don't have those conditions. Very pure, very easy. No lots of information in our mind. Very little information. Hungry, drink milk, and go to bed. Sleep. That's what baby is doing. Now for us, we have all the issues. We have food, we have everything, but still we can sleep. Cannot sleep. So because of all the condition, we are going back and forth with these conditions. So best practice we can do, make our minds unconditioned. How we are going to make our mind unconditioned? So that's another word people are always using. I want to empty my mind. When people telling me that, I come to meditation, I want to empty my mind, I say good luck. You never get that. You cannot empty your mind. Always information there. Why? Many years. We put all those information. Now we are believing those information. Some information, some conditions are cultural. Some conditions are social. Some condition coming from your mother. Some condition coming from your father or your brothers and sisters. Social norms, society where we live. Because of that, all those information get into our mind. Now we are believing them. So now think about, I am coming from Sri Lanka. My first 21 years I was in Sri Lanka. Now think about how strong that mind, whatever condition my first 21 years in Sri Lanka, still it is in there. Now think about your mind. Now being born in America, still all the condition you learn and practice still there. Even you go to another country, you go to Sri Lanka, still you have American mind. Because why I say that, one of my friends living in Sri Lanka is almost like Sri Lankan now, and he has lots of information, he knows the language, everything he is okay, but still that American conditioned mind popping up. So even I am here now, most of my life I am out of country. Still whatever I conditioned when I was young, that first 21 years, still those things really strong and come into my mind, then I get upset. Now think about, because of all those conditions we are believing this is the right thing, now we have problems. So therefore I am always trying to have an unconditional mind. Even we have conditions, because my mind is conditioned to Sri Lankan culture. Now your mind is conditioned to American culture, right? Maybe when you go to Europe, your mind have a European culture. So even you go to all those cultures, if you are meditating, you can survive. You don't have conflicts. So first time when I come to here in this country, I hate forks. Eating from the fork. I hate it. Because why? I am so conditioned to use my natural fork, right? And using my fingers. Now for me it doesn't matter. If sometimes I automatically go and just grab a fork and eat. Sometimes I halfway I'm eating, I throw the fork and eating from the fingers. Now I have both. I'm okay to eating from a fork. And same time I'm okay to eating from the fingers too. It's not a big deal now. Now think about, now you come to the temple, learn how to eat from the Sri Lankan food. Now think about if you are, growing in the very traditional American family, if you go home eating from here and fingers and what your mom going to say? Go to your room, right? Go to your room. What's wrong with you? Why you are touching the food? Or, all those, why we are conditioned. That's what they are believing. This is not right or wrong. Those are the social things we learn from the cultures. What I am asking you, don't believe all those things are true. Please adjust. If it is not harm to yourself, it is not harm to other people, it is okay to change. Like few months ago we had hair. Just for fun we are growing hair. So it's so big issue for many people. Why? According to their culture, how they condition, monk has no hair. That's what they think. But still we have hair. We shave it. That's the that's why we don't have hair. We have hair. So that means based on looking at hair, they are making their judgment. Then they are thinking is it right or wrong. Now think about, today I was busy and I come here and sit here with wearing a short and t-shirt and have my baseball hat and teaching and meditation. Maybe I know it's not a big issue for American people. I know it is not a big issue. I know that. But, today, how come Bhante come with wearing a short? Why? You have now condition in your mind. What is the condition? Monks means they have to wear a robe. If he doesn't have a robe, there is no monk. But now think about somebody can wear this robe, can be a serial killer. So, I'm asking you, but I'm not telling you tomorrow I'm coming to the meditation wearing short. But I'm not going to do that because I have respect for that. I have respect for the community. But based on those conditions, don't believe your contentment is there. It is not. What you see, what you hear, all your senses, all the information you are getting, don't believe them. Now you are believing them, that's why all the people are in trouble. Why people come to meditation? To decondition those information. Be an open-minded person. So maybe you experience other day, the Buddha is making a beautiful Buddha statue. I was talking about the equanimity, equality and the teaching of the Buddha. Then the Buddha statue colors from the rainbow colors, and I post those pictures on the Facebook. Many people love it. I got an email, why you did that? Right? Why? So for me it doesn't matter. It's not a big deal for me. But what is the matter? Our practice. Practice is important. Somebody said maybe you disrespect to the Buddha doing that. No. I cannot respect to the Buddha or the disrespect to the Buddha. It's totally my mind. How you believe, how you see things, how you understand things. Right? Now I know some people here, the Buddha statue, they are keeping in the bathrooms. Buddha statue here, symbol of peace and the decoration. So first time when I see that, I was thinking these people go to hell. Why? They kept the Buddha statue in the toilet. Our Buddhist culture never do this. Why? Buddha statue we always keep in a higher place because of the respect. It's cultural. So first time when I see that like a yoga studios and different everywhere is a Buddha statue, I know their mind, they don't have any bad intention. They don't have any bad intention. But the problem is my mind. Why? I conditioned that way. That's what I am believing now. Now you can see how we are creating the problems in our life. Now if somebody see a Buddha statue on the ground or the bathroom, it's not a big issue for me. But I will tell, if you want to keep this Buddha statue at a proper place, kindly, lovingly I will say that. There's a respect into that leader and the proper place, always, right? We don't go and leave our utensils in the bathroom. Our plates and cups, do you leave in the bathrooms? No, we don't, because they have a drawer in the kitchen. So that means Buddha statue also have a proper place to live. So that way I understand that. But based on that, no need to make a problem in your life. It is okay, because doing that, if somebody did that, I don't think that person is disrespecting to the Buddha. No. Respect is your inner feeling, how you feel about him. Now, Karen, you talk about Buddha is my teacher. You had some tears today when you talking about the Buddha, before the class, and so that means your inner realization is so powerful about the Buddha. That's why you become so emotional about it, because now you have that power in your mind. That is the Buddha, not the statue, or it's a cement. So all are conditioned. So I'm not asking you to keep the Buddha statue in the bathrooms. I don't. But be mindful about it a little bit too. We never leave the Jesus in the bathroom. I never seen that. So therefore we have to be in the middle ground, and so we have to respect to that. Okay, I understand that. So what I'm going to tell you, people always judging. Do you judge? Do you judge? I do. Now he has hair, what is called the dreadlocks, right? Oh, hair. It's not always I see it. Oh, dreadlocks. It's beautiful. Long time ago when we are young in Sri Lanka, when somebody has a tattoo, I don't know, maybe here was same many years ago, people so scared to that person. They think it's a thug, like a killer. That's what they were believing. Now about here now, if somebody sees a tattoo, it's an art. It's a big business now. It's changed. So therefore, no need to believe everything. This is a permanent way to, this is a perfect way to believe it. No need to. So always you can adjust. When you are practicing, you are so adjustable. You are not creating issues in your mind, or you are not creating problems in other people's lives. It doesn't matter how they dress. It doesn't matter how they eat. It doesn't matter how they have hair. Right? It doesn't matter. That's their personal lives. So now when I'm asking this question, do you judge? You said yes. Now I'm asking, if you say yes, why you are telling other people don't judge? Right? So you said everybody is judging. Okay. Now you are telling people, if I say, oh Karen, why you have short hair, or something like that, if I say that, then you may say, Bhante, don't judge based on my short hair. You may say that. So people say, you say, I cannot live without judgments. But when somebody says something, you say, don't judge. So sometimes certain things when I tell people, very American term, always people say, Bhante, don't judge. Then I say, I do. I judge always. Now looking at you all, what I'm doing now, based on your smile and how you are looking at me, what I'm doing? I'm judging. Listening to me, what you are doing, listening, feeling, hearing, what you are doing now? Judging. So we all are judging anyway. Judgment is all right. But the problem is a condemnation. Based on that judgment, if you are condemning the person or the culture or the situation, that's wrong. So that what I'm asking you, make the judgments all the time. When you say don't judge, that's another judgment. So let them to judge, but don't condemn. So I have a story. When I was traveling in Phoenix, Arizona, so my host family, always they are giving me a car to drive. So last 10 years they are giving me that car to drive. It's a Jaguar, right? It's a nice Jaguar, right? I am driving this Jag. Kind of first day I was thinking, it's I can put the top down, and and so it's very interesting, right? I love it. So then same time I have little concern, oh my God, people have conditioned mind. I don't know how people are looking at me. So then what I'm doing when I go to teaching, driving the car and I park something little further. Why? I was thinking I don't want people to judge me. Then it's not good for my practice, or not my practice, not my lifestyle. Maybe people have wrong idea about it. Then one day I realized, oh, it doesn't matter. I have stuff in the car always, so then I always go and park the car in front of the yoga studio or something like that. So then I getting out the car, after many years I'm using that car, it's become so normal to me. Then I'm not thinking about it. I just go and drive there and park and get out from the car. One day I went to the yoga studio and to teach, lots of people were there. There was a man in the front area, in the lobby area. Always people, when they see me, they are so nice to me, smiling and kind and talking, introducing. But this man is not really interested about me at all. Then I was thinking it's weird, he didn't say hi or not really, involved. But anyway, I am there to do my job and I did my work. Then one of my friends from Illinois, they used to live in Colorado, she came to surprise me. Right after my class, she was there, hey Bhante, surprise, Then I was shocked, how come you are here? So then she asked me, let's go for dinner. I said, sure. And also she said, did you meet that person in the front area, lobby area? I said, I don't know, he didn't talk to me. Oh, he's my friend. I invited him to dinner too. We all are going to dinner. Now we went to dinner. All are sitting. They are talking. But that man is little talk, but not that much interested. Always people asking questions. Then we had like an hour and a half sitting there and eating. Then we came out. I said to my friend who came to surprise me, I said, hey, I'm going home. My car is right there. I'm getting to the car. Oh my God, she was laughing. Oh my God, you have a Jag, right? You are driving Jag. She knows me really well, right? I said, my friend, that's not my car. You know that. I'm from Illinois. How come I have a car here? This is my host family car. They are giving me this car to drive. Then that man looking at me, really? This is not your car? I said, no, this is not my car. How come I have a Jag? I'm a monk. I don't have that much money to buy a Jag. So then he was so upset about it, laughing and oh my God, my judgment. When I'm coming to the studio, I park my truck or whatever. Then I saw you are getting out from the Jag. Then I was thinking, oh my God, another kind. He's a fake. He's a fake monk. He's rich, he has money. Now he is driving a Jag. Now I'm not interested. The moment, if I didn't explain, that conversation didn't happen, still he's thinking about me. I have a Jag, I am a rich monk. I'm rich, different things I'm rich, not with the car. So then finally he became a really good friend of mine. Still we are really good friends. He's my Facebook and he invited me to California and he's a wonderful person. But what I'm thinking, then he made the podcast with me because he's doing the podcast. So what I'm telling you, when you see something, when you hear something, based on whatever you see, based on those conditions, don't make your judgment and assumption and thinking he's a good person or bad person or something like that. No. So that means you are losing so many good opportunities because of that. So many good opportunities because of that. So like maybe last year, our president gave me his BMW car to drive. I was driving like 6 months. It's a two-door car. So then I said, Tyler, I don't want this car. I don't want people judge me. Then he came to me and said, Monk, how many years you were teaching us? Don't live based on other people's expectations. Then I said, okay, I will take it. Right? I love that car. I'm driving fast like 90 and so I had lots of fun with that car. So anyway, lots of people made the comments about it. Many people who know me, they really had lots of fun with it. People don't know me, they created the stories. Finally I gave that car, because that car doesn't work for me anymore. And so it's very interesting, right, how we see things, how we hear things, and we are believing it. Therefore, whatever we get from the societies and the cultures and the traditions, don't think that is your ultimate truth. It is not. It is not your ultimate truth. Ultimate truth is how you understand yourself, your mind, your thoughts, your emotions. Then you can make your life. And same thing you are doing when you are meditating. When you are meditating, what you are doing? If you are not mindful, making all the stories. Now think about, you while you are sitting here meditating, I'm just making the story, you have a tickling like a throat. Then you are thinking, maybe I have corona. Right? How many times we had that kind of thoughts in our mind? So many times. I heard the story, one of our meditation center, one of my mentor, he did the, like a workshop last month. His name is Upo. That meditation center, I heard that story. When one girl, the Western girl practicing meditation at night, middle of the meditation, she started to cry. Then the people asked later, why you are, middle of the meditation, why you were crying? Oh, it's a funny, crazy story. During the meditation, what she felt, mosquito bite in Sri Lanka. So then she was thinking, oh, mosquito is biting me. Oh, maybe malaria. Now sitting on the cushion, she was thinking, now I have malaria. Now I have malaria. Now she is sitting on the meditation cushion, middle of nowhere, right? Then she is thinking, before I leave UK, my mother asked me to get the vaccination for malaria. I rejected. Of course, now I have malaria. Now I'm sick. I have fever. This place, top of the mountain, I don't know how to go to the hospital. Now I'm very sick. I have fever. People take me to the hospital. Now I'm laying in the hospital bed. It's not like England, in Sri Lanka. I'm going to die in Sri Lanka. Middle sitting on the meditation cushion, she was experiencing about the death and fear. She started to cry. Now think about, every day we all are doing the same thing. Why we cannot sleep at night? Because during the day we made all those conditions and stories, and keep thinking at night is really affecting to our life. So therefore, mindfulness is closely watching and observing your thoughts, your feelings, and your emotions, what is your come to your mind, and don't believe everything as a reality. It is not. If you are believing that, always you get into the troubles. So now I am asking, go home, drive, and judge. Judge all the time to survive. But based on that judgment, don't condemn other people or yourself, your mind or your body. Don't judge. So it's still hurting you and the world. Okay? Thank you so much for this evening. Thank you.